Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Tom from Park Avenue Forex here. Just give you another update on the sterling yen trade that we've been following for a few weeks now. I can't let this one go because this one is so darn technically interesting that all the technical points have really been hit perfectly. And it's unusual that it happens, but I'm actually glad it's happening because you get to see how good technical analysis can guide you in the right direction as far as what trade to take and to make money, and then understand why other trades that you have taken had lost money. Like the old timers used to say, there's no bull side to the market, there's no bear side to the market. There's only the right side to the market, and the right side is the money side, the winning side. So don't cloud your mind with biases about what you think a market should do. Just follow along with what the market's telling you it wants to do. And technical analysis is designed or the proper technical analysis is designed to do that. So let's just go over what we talked about the last time that I put the video up of the sterling yen. At that point, we were right here in the marketplace. So now, wait a second. Now, I'm going to try to use my little zoom button and see if I can do this properly. So the last time we talked, we were here. Okay, so we were at this point, this bar right here, and it did not reach the trend reactionary number. I said it fell short by like 30 pips or so. I think that the high here was 139.20, 19 and a half. Okay. So it was about 30 pips shy. Now, if you remember, I readjusted, or you could look at the video, I readjusted the trend line and put the support line here. Now, this is a 4-hour chart. So the market basically started breaking down. Okay, we could see that. Now, when it hit the trend line, using trend line analysis, since the last bar in the 4-hour, okay, was a down close, and the break of this trend line, this break should have been false. Now, as you can see, it went down further, but was it truly a false break? Yes, but not a perfectly false break. So a false break should have been, it came down, and then, messed around with maybe narrow range bars or inside range bars. Inside range bars like these. This is a large, hang on, let's do like this. An inside range bar is a bar that sits inside a bigger range, right? So this is an inside range. This would probably be considered a narrow range. Narrow range is basically 50% or less the larger range. Now, it's just technical terms, okay? This bar basically breaks out and expands the downward range a little bit before the market comes off. So the whole point that I'm trying to make here is that this break should have been a false break. It should have done something like this, and then pop back up over it, Now, it would have been technically valid had it comes back up. Now, you'd have to readjust the trend line again for the other demand point that's created. This is all hypothetical, but and then you'd want an upward close. So what really the best scenario would be, let's say, for instance, you have this upward close here, and this bar opens, and then it pounds through this support line, or demand line, if you want to say. Because this is an up close, it should be a good breakdown. Because what we're saying is, kind of like the old head fake trade, you got everybody caught. I mean, when the market closes, this is basically the point of where, everybody, the verdict is in, okay? So for this time frame. So everybody thinks, yeah, we're gonna attack this TRN. Yeah, well, guess what? Some other participants came in and said, no, we're not going there first. Now, what's completely interesting about this move, although this break should have been false, it comes and it sits right on the lower trend reactionary number. Happened over here too. Market came down just a little bit lower than the trend reactionary number, came down here a little bit lower than the trend reactionary number. So this has been the trend reactionary number, a number that you were given weeks ago before the market was even here, is reacting as great support. A number here, 139.57, that you were given weeks ago, is acting as incredible, supply or resistance. So, I mean, here we are today. Market still couldn't break this tier. Now, I'm going to readjust this trend line just so that it's proper. I got to get out. Oh, sorry. I'm just learning how to use this zoom method here. And what I want to do is I want to take the drawing capability off. And then basically I want to readjust this trend line. So I'm going to delete it. I'm going to just go from this demand point, because I need to change the angle a little bit and come up through that demand point. Oop, too high. Gotta make it right. Right about there. Perfect. There's our new trend line. Okay. I was expecting, if you look at not the last video, but the previous video to that, I was expecting the break of the trend line, break of the TRN, to come back down and sit on this trend line of a higher value and then make a move up. Market hasn't done that. It's still, pretty bullish. Again, I don't like failures at trend reactionary numbers. I'm not trying to speak out of both sides of my mouth, but what I'm really thinking is that this market is still upward, going back into the 140s. But I still think that it needs to come back down into this area here before it can gather up enough strength, catch everybody off guard, and then push higher. Now, if it breaks lower TRNs, then something's wrong, right? So the trend reaction numbers are there for warning levels, like we came down to it. That's a good place to buy it. Try to get back up above this one. So it hasn't happened yet, but we're on our way. If you have any questions about trendline analysis or qualifiers or anything, just leave them here. And I assure you, since I'm kind of retired and keep myself occupied with my avocation and vocation, I'd enjoy answering them for you. So, and Google likes that stuff. I promise you that I will show you where mom leaves the cookies. Okay, I'll give you that secret cabinet where mommy leaves the cookies. All that sweet stuff is there. I had to use that line. I just saw it recently in a Chopped episode, because another one of my favorite things to do is to cook. So I was watching this Chopped episode. Oh, not Chopped. Guy's Grocery Games, which I think is really funny. I mean, I like Guy Fieri. But one of the judges goes, "Man, that dish was like where mom keeps the cookies." I was like, oh, I have to steal that line. That's awesome. All right, look forward to talking to you guys soon. And remember, enjoy the party, but dance near the door.